But the Harry Kane one, you daydream, he passes it past you. There's another one where Son scores his right foot, the ball goes through your legs. That's probably the worst game. Harry Maguire's game against Tottenham was probably the worst game I've ever seen from a centre back. I got hooked. Joe Gomez. Look, I like Joe Gomez a lot. I think he's probably England's best centre back in my opinion. But when are defenders going to defend now? I mean, Trent, not known for his defending. Gomez and Van Dijk had an absolutely mare, which, to be fair, I should let them off because they played at such a great level for the last, year and a bit, 18 months, 2 years. But when are defenders going to start defending again? They targeted Trent so badly this game against Aston Villa. It was quite embarrassing, really and truly, especially for someone that's the world's best right back. So what the question now is, are defenders meant to attack or are they actually meant to defend? Because you're looking at players now are all about ball playing defenders, assisting the ball defenders and whatever. When are you guys going to actually step up, take this man out, clatter someone? When is that going to happen? Look, I'm not going to say I'm the best thing since sliced bread on football. I'm clearly not. Otherwise, I'd be probably in the league. But you got to ask yourself this just real question. Where is the hard fouls in the game gone? Where has the dirtiness in the game? Obviously, there's VAR now, so you have to be quite sly. But where's that gone? Because you're looking at. I look around and I think, God blimey. I mean, Jack Grealish is probably having his fun. He's smiling the way he's doing it. Cars down, and not one. You know what I mean? I'm not advocating violence, whatever, but not one person going to say, yo, you know what I mean? Let's drop my man. You know what I mean? No one's ready to get yellow for the team. The game's gone, man. But yeah, I mean, Joe Gomez played so bad he got hooked. Somewhere through the game. I wouldn't say he played so bad. I think they just needed to get into the game, to be fair. But him, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent Alexander had a poor showing for themselves. I mean, it's just not good enough for Liverpool. They need to bounce back strong, and they're playing Everton, who aren't no rollovers anymore that you can just toss about anyhow. So, and Mo Salah, yeah, amazing human being off the pitch. From what I've seen on all accounts, he's a great player. But let me tell you something from Mo Salah, what I see, and the reason why I don't think he's as great as what everyone makes out to be. I like Mo Salah a lot. Bear in mind, he's a goal scorer. You can never disrespect numbers sometimes, yeah? If someone's putting the ball at the rate that he's putting the ball in the back of the net, you got to respect it. But I think Mo Salah doesn't, just my opinion, I think he doesn't mind scoring a hat-trick in a loss. I think his numbers mean so much to him that anytime he gets the ball, he's going to, 9 times out of 10, if he's in the box, he's going to shoot. It sounds silly for me to say that because obviously he's led the league in goals before and he's scoring at a ridiculously high rate. He wants to get goal number 100 and whatever it is now. I feel like, mainly in my opinion, if he doesn't score, he drops maybe a 5 out of 10. He doesn't impact the game other than scoring. And that's just what I think about Mo Salah. But, there's nothing what I can say today. It's been working ever since and Liverpool don't seem to mind. So I hate Tottenham. Make no mistake. But I don't know what Mourinho does. Is it witchcraft or is he saying a certain thing into Daniel Levy's ear or whatever? Because wherever he is, he gets the ball to spend. They might not play the best football, but they spend. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to get up some of the numbers here. All the players that they brought in. They brought in, Regulon, Doherty, I think his name is. Højbjerg, I don't know how to pronounce his name that well. Carlos Vinicius, Joe Hart, and Gareth Bale. Not only are they playing at a good level right now, Kane, Son, Lamela, who he did a disgusting act against Man United, but Ndombele, Lo Celso would have been Winks. These Doherty, Aurier, who played his best game in a Tottenham shirt against Man United, even though they were out 10 men to be fair. But Tottenham need to really look at this and feel like, yeah, we should be contending for top four. They should be in mid semi-finals of the FA Cup. They need to, with this squad and on paper, Gareth Bale, I don't think he's going to be at the same level he was. I mean, they say form is temporary and class is permanent, but I just don't think he's going to be at that standard. But Gareth Bale still Gareth Bale tears down, should be one of the better wingers in the league. And with what Kane and Harry Kane are on right now, they're taking a compound V. They're doing something right. You know what I mean? I think they are. I think it's starting to click at Tottenham. The one thing I would say is Tottenham are an injury-prone team. They just are. Lamella goes out for long periods of time. Harry Kane gets also injured. Son gets injured during the season. But what I like is they brought in players like Carlos Vinicius, who can maybe take the cup games for Harry Kane. You know what I mean? So Harry Kane can get a rest, so he doesn't get injured too tough. Doherty, good right back, mainly more in the 3-5-2 system, but I reckon he can adjust to a back four quite easily. Reguilon, I think he's a top left back. You know what I mean? There was question marks about his deal, but I think Reguilon's a top left back. Tottenham, it's going to hate me to say this, but top four should be on your mind. You know what I mean? You shouldn't look at like sort of Man United and Chelsea and all these Arsenals and think, right, even though I shouldn't have said Arsenal, but you shouldn't be thinking, right, these lot are going to finish ahead of us. You should be thinking, yeah, you should aim for third, fourth. You're not going to win the league. You're not going to finish second. But that's what you need to do. Yeah. So Man United, I'm not going to say I feel sorry for Man United because I'll be honest with you, I hate Man United. I'm not going to say I feel sorry for their fans, but there needs to be an uproar at Man United. Trust me, we're still going through Arsenal, but not on the other side. But there needs to be something needs to be done about Man United because this transfer window has been abysmal. Yes, Jadon Sancho is a top winger in the world. Top young winger, probably one of the best English wingers, definitely. But you spent all the summer chasing a 20-year-old. Look, Zorc, I think his name is, the Dortmund director, said it quite comfortably. 120 million or nothing. In my opinion, I'm not obviously a negotiator or whatever, but I have common sense, like the J House album. What you need to do is pay 120 million and you're going to get Sancho. If you do not pay 120 million, you will not get Sancho. I don't understand what's difficult about that. You're going around putting all these alleged bids and whatever for this guy, and you're not giving what's required, what Dortmund are requiring. I look at the transfer window and I think, cool, blimey, this reeks. Yeah, I mean, your best centre back is on loan, who is Chris Smalling. I do like the sign. I've not seen much of him. Alex Telles, I'll be honest with you, I've not seen much of him. And anyone that says that they've seen this Amad Diallo guy, £40 million, anyone that says that they've watched Amad Diallo play, yeah, and they're not talking about on YouTube, they're either a real football scout or whatever, or they're just a plain liar. Because I've never heard of the kid before this transfer window. But for 40 million, I mean, you got to have something for it about you, especially at that age. But you look at Man United. How have you gone from looking to get Sancho to now you've got an Amad Diallo? You know what I mean? I'm not criticising the move or whatever, but even that, he's a few years away from being in the first team for Man United. Van der Beek, allegedly Real Madrid were in for him and then they pulled out because they had financial difficulties. So you're looking at Donny van der Beek, you're looking at Chris Smalling going on loan, and you think, what if Real Madrid said that, yeah, they wanted Donny van der Beek, they might have not had anyone. These are, and I'm going to get to somebody soon, but these are looking at meaty signings. I do think Van der Beek is good, but this would have been a bad window for Man United had they had not got him. They got Edinson Cavani. Now, it's going to... A fool would say Edinson Cavani's not a good player. I think he's really good. You know what I mean? Great aerial threat. I think Edinson Cavani's move could be... It's one of two ways. It can either go in the way of Ibrahimovic, who was a success, or it can go Falcao way. You know what I mean? You got to pray for one or the other. Well, one over the other, should I say. But you look at Cavani, I mean, his contract was done in June. And you signed him on what, deadline day? It just, for me, it smells of desperation. He was out of a club. There's a reason. You got to ask yourself this. And obviously, he's probably on big wages. But you can ask yourself the reason why the only club that was in for Cavani was Inter. And I'm not talking about Inter Milan. I'm talking about Inter Miami. The only reason why you go to Inter Miami is because you're done. You're cooked. You're finished. But Man United have got him. And I think, to be honest, I think he could be a success. However, there's one thing that is quite funny, because he's one of the best headers over the last 10 years. Header of the ball over the last 10 years. But from what it seems, Greenwood is going to be starting right winger. He comes in and shoots. Marcus Rashford comes in and passes. He's not. You know what I mean? Who's going to be delivering this ball to the man on his head? Maybe Bruno, if he gets in the wide area like a KDB would do. But I just feel like it just smells. There's something wrong about this thing. If you really wanted Cavani, if you wanted a signing like Cavani, you'd get him in as soon as he was available. If not, maybe in June, maybe in August. You wait until September, October to sign him. You know what I mean? For me, it smells of desperation. Harry Maguire. It's just not good. I don't think there's any way I can explain it. What I saw against Tottenham, yes, they had 10 men for a large majority of the game, but there was a part of the game where they had 11, and you see him marking Luke Shaw. You see him foul Harry Kane. And then, I don't know, maybe he daydreams for a second. Harry Kane just passes the ball into someone and he finishes with his left foot. Sometimes with football, when you're in a system, you look better than what you are. An example is Morgan Schneiderlin. When he was at Southampton, he was breaking things up all the time. But and especially defenders and defensive midfielders look really good in systems where you have to be active all the time, if that makes sense. So, because Southampton never really had the ball all the time, and Morgan Schneider is a 6'4" midfielder who was meant to break play up, and he can do that when a lot of times the other team are running at him. But when he moved to Man United, you quite realise you have a lot of the ball, and then your concentration levels are quite, shall I say, poor, because it's only a few times that players are running at you and your head's lost, because in previous seasons or previous games in previous clubs, they would have been running at you maybe 89 minutes, but now it's not that often. So you think Maguire is probably in the same situation. Him at Leicester maybe looked all right. To be honest, I never really saw the hype, but I'm not going to say he's a bad defender at Leicester. But what I've seen now, you push Luke Shaw for the first goal. I'm just quoting, I can't remember the goals exactly in order. But the Harry Kane one, you daydream, he passes it past you. There's another one where Son scores his right foot, the ball goes through your legs. That's probably the worst game. Harry Maguire's game against Tottenham was probably the worst game I've ever seen from a centre-back. That was awful. And like Patrice Evra said, we're always talking about partnering Maguire with someone. Maybe Maguire's the problem, but Maguire for 80 million. Look, here's the thing about price tags. For price, obviously he's homegrown and whatnot, so that always adds value. But that doesn't really matter when it comes to football. It's ruthless. Look, Man United are obviously in the hunt for a centre back. I'll explain what I mean. Then apparently they're going for a Pamecano, whatever. They want to smash big P's. I've heard Koulibaly before. Here's what you need to understand. For £80 million, you should be the answer. You shouldn't have your club looking for a better centre back than you. You shouldn't. And if they are, that really says a lot about you. I reckon they'll probably be in West Ham in a couple of years. Maybe, because he's definitely getting into Leicester. Skionku and Johnny Evans are better than him. For £80 million, it's probably the worst bit of signing especially for that price in a long time. Man United have probably they missed the boat here. Oh, not even missed the boat. It's just I think they just got scammed. That's the only way I can say it. That Maguire, Bailly is not obviously great. Luke Shaw, I think them getting Telles is probably going to do something great. I don't know how good Telles is defensively, but Luke Shaw looks like he's passed it. I think it was £50 from Southampton, and I thought it was going to be the truth. But you know what I mean, the only truth he can get into is probably the club truth. You know what I mean, in power, because what I've seen is just not good enough from him. Man United are they're just a shit show, to be honest. A shambles, absolutely disgracing themselves, and I absolutely love it. But so they probably had the worst transfer window out of everyone, in my opinion, especially of the top six. So, but you know what? Let me know your thoughts. You know what I mean of who's had a great transfer window. Who do you think is going to be a good signing? Like, who do you think is going to be a low-key a good signing? It might not necessarily be players that I've named today, but who do you have your eye on? Do make sure I can't speak. Do make sure you let me know in the comments below. It's your boy Mike's on the 3 Point Show. We're out.